Welcome to the School of Medicine Faculty Development Podcast on medical education research and scholarship. I'm Jean Bailey, Associate Dean for Faculty Development in the School of Medicine at VCU, and I'm here today with Dr. Cherie Edwards, an education research faculty member in the Office of Assessment, Evaluation, and Scholarship in the School of Medicine. Dr. Edwards is here today to share her expertise in qualitative research methods. Welcome, Dr. Edwards.
Thank you for having me, Jean.
It's so great to have you with us. So can you just tell us exactly what is qualitative research?
Sure. Qualitative research is a diverse set of research methods and methodologies that aim to explore a phenomenon from a specific perspective and context. So I think one of the unique and really special things about qual research is that because it's so versatile, through researchers can explore different perspectives and cultures. They can also develop theoretical frameworks or conduct a content analysis. There's a lot of range with qual, which really lends to it being valuable in a number of different settings.
Great. Thank you. Help us understand exactly how does it differ from quantitative methods? We seem to always have the two methods at odds a little bit with each other. What's the difference?
So qualitative research is different from quantitative research because with qual, you're not looking to generalize your findings. You're really examining a phenomenon from a specific perspective in order to contextualize lived experiences. Beyond that, in qual, the researcher is considered a tool of the research. The framing of data collection and analysis are very much contingent on the researcher and the lens they place on the work. It really interprets that work. This is a very different conceptualization of research when compared to quantitative research. And then the most obvious difference is the data. For the most part, qualitative data is verbal, where quantitative is based in numerical data and analysis.
What exactly constitutes qualitative data then?
For the most part, verbal and written data are usually what most consider to be qualitative data. And that would include things like open-ended questions to surveys, transcripts of focus groups and interviews, and things like observation notes are probably the most traditional forms of qualitative research. You also have visual data like photographs, video recordings, drawings, and things like that. So with qualitative data, there's a variety of forms. The way to best summarize it is that qualitative data is something that captures the experiences or holds insights about the population phenomenon being studied.
How might these different forms of qualitative data be used in research and evaluation then?
I think the possibilities for implementing qualitative data in research and evaluation are endless. So you can conduct a qualitative study to evaluate education interventions, explore student experiences, better understand faculty and staff perspectives. The value of the different types of qual data is really based on your research question and your purpose. So you have to really consider what you want to explore, and then what populations and data forms are available to you. That's a huge part of determining how data can be used in your research and evaluation and what value it adds. Another important question is what resources and skills you have to analyze that data, because you really want to make sure that you are capturing the data as it was communicated to you as the researcher, and that your interpretation maintains the credibility of that data.
I know qualitative research is comprised of a variety of methods and methodologies. Can you just talk a bit about the difference between the methods and methodologies for us?
Sure, and thank you for asking. There's a lot of confusion and conflation when it comes to methods and methodologies. When it comes to qualitative methods versus methodologies, methods are tools. So an interview is a method. Initial coding is a method. These are tools that you use to conduct your research. A methodology is not just a tool, it is a tradition of research. It's a philosophy plus method. So you have ethnography, that's a methodology. There's a tradition of tools and steps that you take to conduct an effective ethnographic study. Grounded theory is a methodology. So it's a cluster of methods that are guided by philosophical principles that really inform how you do a research study. And that's why you're going to see an ethnographic study or an ethnography look completely different from a grounded theory because the philosophy behind them are so different.
That makes sense. In general, how can qualitative research contribute to research and evaluation efforts?
Qualitative research can contribute richness to research and evaluation. And that's not to say that quantitative doesn't. But I think there's a lot of overlap when you look at what qualitative and quantitative research contributes to empirical studies. But one of the biggest differences is that with qualitative research, the insights we gain are gained from the perspectives that are articulated or communicated in some way by people and communities who have the most experience with the phenomenon. So when you're examining student experiences, you're talking to students and getting their insights and their perspectives and interpreting versus summarizing it numerically, and highlight experiences and insights that we wouldn't be able to explore through numerical analysis.
So I've also heard that qualitative tells the story. It gets the ideas behind what's happening.
Clearly, I'm biased, but I think it's a much more holistic way of exploring a phenomenon. And like I said, because of the range, it really depends on the methodologies that you use and the purpose behind your research study. But for the most part, you really are going into communities and examining their experiences around a phenomenon for that richness, for that holistic approach to empirical study.
Yeah, whether that's a focus group or interviews or whatever that might be, right?
Right. And I mean, even beyond that, like I said, you can use drawings, you can use photography. There are so many different ways to elicit those insights and that information from your participants. And it's really about what's best for your research study and what best aligns with your research purpose.
Great. Well, thank you so much. This is very helpful. And I think you've really shed some light on the qualitative research process. I appreciate it. If anyone would like to contact Cherie, her contact information will be posted, but her email is Cherie, Cherie.Edwards@vcuhealth.org. Cherie is also our scholarship accelerator. So if you'd like to work on a qualitative project with her, she's happy to set up a consult. I'm so glad you were able to join us today, Cherie. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for having me.